Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here and you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we go live, tap the bell. We go live 30 minutes after market close, Monday through Friday. If you want to get connected to the UVH fam or our community, links are below for our free options trading group along with our Discord. If you're here right now, say what up. See FC in here, Leo, Billy, Jeff. How's everyone doing this morning? This afternoon, I should say. You know, I would say it wasn't a very eventful day in the stock market. I mean, when they closed, I guess a lot of drama. S&Ps, they closed flat, 0.08%. You know, Microsoft closed up 0.5% today. IBM closed down 0.19%. Sean, what's going on? Hey, Daniel. Billy's alive. Hope you guys had a good day. Overall today, kind of a weird, kind of mixed here. Down about 60 on the day, 50 to 60 on the day. Had a nice MU trade. We'll go over there in a minute there though. But yeah, well, the title of today's video is Apple Sell the News Event. I've been saying for the past week that the events that Apple holds are mostly sell the news event. Oftentimes when there's a new product event or a new service event like we had today, you know, we grind up higher on Apple only to sell off or have consolidation during the day. Apple did close down about, you know, a little bit more than 1% after selling off. I mean, pretty dramatic, which we'll talk about in a minute. Michael, what's going on? Sean, Dariana, Rewerts, Greg, glad you're here. Daniel, made some good day trades, but nothing really exciting. Yo, Kit, what's up? T5. So yeah, we'll talk about Apple. Let's talk about a couple of my trades here. We'll just keep the flow going here. Let's go to, Towen, how you doing? So this morning, these are my trades. I did some trades on JP Morgan, Apple, and MU. The only closing positions I did do was on a day trade for JP Morgan, and then I closed out MU. Am I sitting kind of weird here? Feels like I'm sitting kind of weird right now. I don't know what's going on. So let's get to JP Morgan. JP Morgan, I bought a 98 put. And for this week expiration, I was trading JP Morgan here when it was kind of leveling out right here. JP Morgan, I bought the 98 put, hoping it was below my 99, but it kept rising up. So I actually cut my loss on that. Lost about $29 on that. Bought it for 99 cents. Sold it back for 70 cents. I then bought a bearish strangle for $1.35 here. I bought the 99 put and the 102 call, which I'm still holding. I probably should have closed it when we reached a low of like 98.09. Probably should have closed it down there. Last week I was super disciplined after coming back, closing like at 20% gains. I was up on this position about 20-25%, and I didn't close it out because I thought we were going to break 98. And this kind of shows you how quickly gains come and go. And like last week when I was saying, hey, I've been closing out these gains. There have been small, consistent profits, but I haven't been letting it run. I could have made a lot more money. And this is the reason why I was doing that last week, because now at $1.35, I was up like $40, $50 in the position, and now I'm down $11 in that position. So you go up from being up $40 on a position that originally cost you $1.35 to now being down 11. So that's kind of what happens when you don't stay disciplined. I mean, I'm still thinking that JP Morgan, I'm currently in the money on it on the put side. I'm still thinking, you know, because JP Morgan was making these lower highs here, that will maybe reach the 95 area this week. You know, my goal on this, now that we're in this area, is really this zone right in here is my target area, was this like 96, 95 area. But I probably should have sold when I hit 98.09. I actually honestly didn't think that JP Morgan was going to fall that low today, and it really did. Hamed, what's going on? Wayne Otto. Unfortunately, learned less than 4 straight days, down 200 bucks. Well, you got to pick yourself up. Got to pick yourself up. Take a break, take it easy, and get your focus back. Get your focus back, because apparently, when you lose for a period of time, when you're losing for a consistent period of time, you're obviously not seeing right, or the stocks that you're trading, you're obviously not seeing correctly. So you need to either take a break from the stocks or the stock market entirely when you're consistently losing. So I still have that position on. Apple, I got in, and Apple, on this, I paid let's see here, $1.54 for next week expiration April 5th, $1.80 put, and the 202.50 call for $1.54. And on Apple, what I was targeting on Apple was the 185 area. We'll actually get into here. So like right in this zone, I was thinking that we're gonna hit the 185 area. I was actually hoping today, was looking for a quick trade, but I also put it out there far enough so that way, I do have time for Apple to make a decision. Even if I'm wrong in this, it could come back up to these like 197 and 198 highs here, and if it does, we'll close it out for a small winner, possibly maybe even break even. We'll see, but my target on here is like 185, 183 area. Right now, I would like for it to come back down to like the 183 to the 185 zone, which we saw back here in November on Apple. And you can see what the event did. I put this on a little bit too early, so the $1.54, even though Apple did come down a bit, but then it started going up before that. But let's go. They took the premium right out of the calls. I was actually down more on the calls than I was at close. Like I was down, I think these were down, the calls were down like 40 bucks or so, 30 bucks, closed at like 28. So, we'll see. We'll see on that. Right now, Apple is in a downtrend. If you're looking at here, the highs, highs 197, then we had another high here at like 193, then we had it like 192, and then another like 190, and now we're sitting at like, we closed at 188.74. Right now, to break trend, it needs to be like 191, 191.50 area, and then we have to get above like 193, 194 area. So right now, Apple still does have a bearish trend on the daily. So we'll see if the market wants to give a reversal, or if Apple. I mean, if we're going to look at Apple here, I don't know if anyone looked into the event today, but in terms of Apple, they didn't really release anything super surprising. Apple, they announced, I didn't say released, they're going to do this like later this fall, TV Plus, News Plus, Arcade, and then their own credit card, which is like, this is like not innovative. If you look at the TV stuff, sounds great. If you look into the TV stuff, they are having some original content. They're just original stories from most creative minds in TV and film. They don't have any TV shows or anything to really compete with Netflix or HBO or anything like that. Then they have like the news, which is just like a magazine subscription service, and then they have like a game subscription service, and then they have both these costs, like the arcade and the news. these both cost monthly subscriptions additional to anything else that you pay, and then they have a new credit card. Even though they said, hey, Apple Pay is going to replace the credit card, yet here they are coming out with a credit card that they are putting out on Apple Pay. Even though the credit card, it doesn't have, like, when you get it, it's made of like titanium. They try to make it look real premium. On the card itself, it's not going to have any signatures, any credit card numbers, or anything like that. All that will be within the app, but essentially it's just a credit card distributed by MasterCard and funded through Goldman Sachs, essentially. So, you know, anything here not very exciting. You know, they were the TV. People were saying the streaming service was going to compete with Netflix, and we did see some volatility today in Roku and Netflix today. But basically, they're just using the Apple TV app. If you guys have Apple TV, it's pretty much the same thing that we already have now. Like, I already have like HBO and Hulu and all that connected to my Apple TV account, and then I can go from any device that I want and pick up where I left off. And that's basically what they previewed today, which was kind of weird, except they have some original shows, which are basically just like stories from creators. And then they have Oprah. Oprah got on here, so I think they try to wow people with big names and stuff. But really, I don't think there's nothing here. There's nothing here that was any originals. They do have a morning show with Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think I personally won't be paying for the service. I mean, I already have Netflix, I already have Hulu, I already have HBO, I already have Showtime, I have all these things that I can already plug into my Apple TV. So I don't know why I would need this. I'm not really looking into a documentary on Oprah anytime soon. So, you know, I think people, this is what happens when you let too much like speculation go about. So people start their imaginations running like, oh, they're going to have their own, you know, superhero stuff. They're going to have their own this. They're going to have their own that. In reality, they're just releasing some stuff from Oprah and Steven Spielberg, and they paid them a lot of money. It's kind of like the Apple Music and Beats Radio and their deal with Drake. You know, I think the people that make the most money on these are the people that are promoting it, like Drake, Steven Spielberg, Oprah. I mean, they're the ones. Of course, they're going to take the deal. I mean, they're offered a boatload of cash, but are people going to sign up for these services? I don't know. Guess we'll find out in their quarterly reports. But I guess the TV plus stuff's not going to come out until like this fall. The magazine stuff is supposed to be the summer. I mean, that's nothing really. They didn't really do anything. Nothing that exciting. MU was my other trade today. We'll go into MU here so you can see the open and close. MU, nice trade I had on the 22nd. What day was that? Friday? Yeah, Friday. I opened it for $1.06. Today I closed it out for $1.37. I had the 41 put, the 43 call. You know, my target on this. Sorry guys, I accidentally clicked the wrong button here. My target on MU was the 40 range. Let's bring it up here, actually in the middle here. My target on MU was the 40 range. I thought it was going to reach this area. It did hit 40, like 09, 40.05 today, and I closed it out. I pretty much caught that. What time did I close that out at? 126. So 126, it's 1300. So right here, I definitely right between these two bars here, caught the bottom perfectly. I wish I was as disciplined on JP Morgan as I was MU, because would have made a little bit more money today. But nice little trade, nice 25% trade or so, almost 30% trade. Shreep, what's up? How you doing? So I definitely caught that nice. I just wish I stayed as disciplined when JP Morgan was selling off that hard. When it went from 99.30 down to 98.09, I wish I just cut it and redeployed. Like, staying consistently disciplined, and I let JP Morgan roll. I mean, I'm still in the trade. I still think that there is an opportunity that it's going to come down, but it's way easier to redeploy profits than it is to redeploy losses. Like when you take profits in, you can redeploy those. When you take a loss and you redeploy that, I mean, eventually your account keeps getting smaller and smaller if you keep redeploying your losses and your capital that way. It's much easier when you take a profit, let's say it's 20 to 30%. You know, I know back in October through December, we were really spoiled. We were hitting 100%, 200%, 75%, 80% real consistently. But in this type of market, when there's a lot of sideways action, like on SPX, when there's a lot of sideways action, Microsoft as well. If you look at IBM today, which we trade, you know, a lot of sideways action on that as well. If you don't take your gains, they're going to be taken from you. And we went from, on JP Morgan, we went from a $40 winner to right now it's sitting at $11 loss, which isn't like huge, but to be at that point, like me staying disciplined on MU right there, I made money. So I sold it for $1.37, and then MU, let's see what that one's going for right now, $1.13. So that's how quickly it could have been taken away from me. If I didn't close it out right there, instead of selling it for $1.37, it's now worth $1.13. I still would have been up a little bit of money, but I mean, that's why it pays to stay disciplined. JPM definitely vaporized some premium. I had a 100% loss a couple days ago. Ouch. People getting ready in this market. Yeah, so I mean that's some good examples. Like MU stayed disciplined. JP Morgan didn't stay as disciplined, and JP Morgan, as you can see, when you get sloppy is when you get some losses there. MU, nice profit, got in, got out pretty clean. JP Morgan was up money, didn't take it. You know? Yeah, I mean, yeah, FC, I agree. You know, I was talking about this on Friday when I was talking about how I was consistently making 20% very consistently instead of waiting for the 50%, 100%. I was taking 20% so it was my first week back. And now on JP Morgan, I wish I did that. I did on MU. JP Morgan, I wish I did that. So, you know, it's a good reminder. You know, I'm not salty or anything, but I mean that's why I say you either get paid or you learn a lesson. And like what we do here is when we lose, we want to take something from that. Like just don't lose money just to lose money. Like, oh, I just put money in there and that's it. If you don't learn something from it, you're definitely gonna make that same mistake again. And like, you don't want to just keep making mistakes because mistakes cost you money in this, and money is what you need to keep trading. I think I saw a question here. Rich, downside on SPX. I think what you think, Nick. So yeah, SPX. Oh, sorry, we're getting crazy here. SPX. I mean, right now it's still below this 2800 area, which obviously is bearish. I only went from 2860 down here, but you know we're right at the line here where it kept tipping, and you know we talked about SPY and SPX quite a bit over the last, like, is it building support at 280 or 2800 or is it just gonna fall through? You know, before it was resistance obviously, but then it looked like we were kind of getting above support, but you know, right now we just need some more information whether it's going to fall through, or you know, I think that we could easily visit low 2700s again. You know, that's without, you know, that'd be pretty easy. But right now I think the media is saying, you know, global growth and recession looms and stuff like that. It's like all gloom and doom, but then tomorrow morning we could wake up with a news headline saying, oh, trade deal this week. You know, and the S&Ps go up 100 points or something, and then there was no trade deal, and then we're back at 2,800. So right now there's like a pin at the 2,800, 280, the 280 mark. You know, it just wants to keep visiting this. If you're looking at SPY, same thing. You know, went up to 285, came back. We went from 281 to 284, back down to 280, went up to 285, back down to 280, down to 277, almost back up to 280. So for some reason, whether we go up or we go down, 280 is a sort of magnet. 2800 is a sort of magnet that it wants to keep revisiting for some reason. You know, nobody knows why. We just kind of have to speculate and make sure our positions are aligned with what the market is doing and what we can expect in the future, because you can't make money if you're always one step behind. You have to be a step off in front of it in order to make money. If you're always reacting to something, you're not going to make money in the market. You have to close your positions based on the way the market reacts. So you have to have that position in already. But that was it. It was a pretty low volume trading day for me, just because of, you know, where things were going wasn't like that strong, and I put a couple positions on, took some off, but I haven't been really trading that big. I haven't been really trying to see where it wants to go at this 280, 2800 mark. Let's talk about some stocks. You guys got some tickers you want to look at? Anything about Apple you guys want to talk about? Disney, they're gonna do, plus they're gonna do better for the kids. Yeah, Disney, I would agree with you, FC. You know, right now the stock price is not reflecting that growth. I think that Disney could revisit the 100 area. QQQ. Oh, whoa! Dropped my mouse. I have this mouse. It's the Microsoft like Arc mouse. It's like this touch thing here, and it bends. But the one thing that I don't like about it, so like if you're on the desktop, you know, Windows 10 has gesture features. However, like on Mac, gestures are way easier to use than anything else. But on Windows, there's no devices to use the gesture features unless you have a laptop. But the Qs, Albert, with you. The Qs, kind of the same thing, where it's above the resistance here. Previously kept making lower highs. You know, this, I think it could come back down to 175 for a bounce. I think it would be healthy to come back, you know, and all these things, like whether it's the S&Ps or the NASDAQ or anything, I think when we have a rip, like this one from 170 all the way up to 183, it's healthy for a little bit of pullback. It's not bearish in any way. It's healthy for a little bit of pullback to continue the uptrend. So if it goes from 170 up to 183, pulls back to 175, and then goes to 190, don't you think that's better than going to like 190 and crashing to 160? You know, so I think a little bit of pullback. I think a little bit of pullback is needed for all of these in terms of most stocks. But the Qs specifically, I think, should come back to like 175, probably like more healthy, like 173, 174 area, and then back up to 180. Whether it's going to do that or not, I don't know. But that's what I would envision here when you go on these crazy runs. Yeah. BA. Shripradan. Got it. Boeing, if you guys have been trading Boeing actually had a green day today for a change. I don't know if that was due to news related. I didn't see anything related to Boeing out, but what I did say is just be careful of those 7087 MAX cancellations. You know, we had earnings on January, so when's their earnings coming up? Boeing's earnings coming up on April 24th. So basically 1 month from right now. So yeah, we're at April 25th, March 25th, April 24th. So 1 month from now, we're gonna find out. You know, we'll get a deeper look. Is this like a dead cat bounce at like the 360 area, or is it going to try to revisit the 400s? I mean, it went on a crazy run after earnings, but I feel like if more companies start to cancel their orders, it's definitely going to have an impact on the stock. You know, it definitely has to get above 380 to get above this trend here. see what those options are pricing in at this week. So this week they're expected $11 move. Next week a $17 move. So these are going to be really pricey. So yes, it does move a lot. You're gonna have to pay a lot for premium because it's moving like this. I mean, it moved $8 today. Went from 380 to 360 in a couple days. You know, the BA is testing out software with a few airlines. The one thing that you have to be careful about is when stocks move a lot, eventually they stop moving a lot. So you don't want to be playing hot potato, right? So you right now it's saying this week's going to have $11 move expected plus or minus. Next week $17. The following week is $21. So eventually, like, the music stops. Like after this, like it ran up here and then it stopped for a few days, and then when it stops for a few days, the premium gets crushed really hard, and there's not really, you don't really know when the stock is going to move again. And then that also could be buying up depending on when the music stops is, you know, depending on what expiration you have. Like if you had this week expiration, it ate up 3 days going sideways, you're going to be in big trouble. So, you know, you might want to look at something a little bit further out. Twitter was down today, I believe. Man, it just gave all that back, huh? But it looks like it's consolidating. So yeah, we talked about this on Friday where it hit 34. It had that news about their ads, and then just looks like consolidation here. It actually probably would have been a good day to put a position on. The one thing that I don't like about Twitter in this range, as you can see, like right here, like 32, it's been coming back there recently, and it could sit there for a few days. So I definitely think that I'll look at a Twitter position maybe for, let's see if it killed some premiums in here. It's a little bit better here. What did implied volatility is still on the high. Hopefully another sideways day so we can get some implied volatility crush in there, IV crush in there, because it's a little bit high. But as you can see down here, it didn't move in price for like a month. Pretty much stayed the same. You can see just implied volatility just got crushed hard. I mean, look how many days it was the same here right before that move up. So that's why like calls were up so much money, because like it literally did nothing, and down here implied volatility was just dead. And then we had these massive moves. So when implied volatility is low and Twitter's not moving, but the thing is, like, if you want to do something like that, you want to put something out for like 30 to 60 days out. You don't want to put on a trade that's like gonna be expiring in a week or two, because you're gonna be in trouble. Let's see, Mr. Toxic, SPY back, possibly back above 280 tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see. Matthew Justin, AMD. So I was trading MU today. We can kind of compare these two, how these two look together in terms of the chart. So AMD was down 1.5%. MU was down 2.5%. However, it was a lot less violent here in terms of AMD and MU. AMD pretty much stayed the same until it sold off in the afternoon, and then it started to recover. But was it just moving with the market? You know, I was targeting last week. I was targeting the 24 area for AMD last week, and I made a little bit of money. It was like very tiny. It was, I mean, I'm talking about like single dollars, like, because it went up against my position. You know, right down in here, what I was worried about here the other day was this 25-30 area. It just couldn't break it after it had this downtrend. Couldn't break it. Then it had another up day, and then we haven't revisited that area. Today we got close at like 25.50, but it hasn't revisited this low, like this 25.28 area, 25.30 area. So that's tough. That's tough. You know, to trade AMD. So it's just not moving right now to the downside. So in this instance, buying the dip on AMD has worked, even though the dip didn't seem like a dip after it ran. Like other stocks, if you're looking at AMD here, if you look at, let's say for instance for Apple, you know, when it had that major rip up, it gave it all back, and so did this, but it's staying there. And these have been going lower. These are actually, most of these stocks are lower than it was on that huge green day the other day. On, what was that, Thursday? So for AMD, yeah, I mean, I'm still targeting the 24 area, but I haven't put a trade on there just because I've been trading MU. I don't try to get too heavy on one side. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oracle and KO. Dariana, KO. Yeah, KO's just hasn't broken out of consolidation. We really need this above like 46.70 to break out. You know, on Coke is the type of stock that you want to trade the breakouts. I mean, this is actually a lot of price movement for Coke. And options are pretty cheap. I think maybe I'll try to trade this. I haven't been trading Coke, but looking at the movement here actually is not bad. It's actually not bad for Coke. Normally we get like little tiny moves, which I don't like to trade. But if we're having bars like this, like huge, pretty like dollar rips and then sell-offs, I mean, could make for a good trade. I don't think that you would be able to do a strangle play on this. You'd have to do like you'd have to be one-sided and trade pretty small. Right now it's still in the range. I would like to see a push to 47. See, and then maybe we'll try to like close this gap. If it tries to close this gap, you know, if it tries to recover from its earnings. But I think it needs to have the cooperation of the market with it. I mean, today, selling off a little bit after hours. I mean, today, and a stock like this is mostly like something you want to mostly swing trade. Day trading this would literally drive you nuts. This would be a stock that I would probably want to swing trade instead of day trading. Let's see here. Let's see what these calls, 46 calls, we're going for. So these 46 calls reached a low of 10 cents the other day, traded up as high as 42 cents today. So I mean, you know, that's a 400% move in a few days. You know, even if you caught 15 cents to 30 cents, that's a 100% move. You know. So, I mean, there's movement in those options. You just have to set your expectations correctly. Sabin, yeah, I'm using the Thinkorswim platform. Thanks, Mr. Toxic. Appreciate it. Oracle, T5. Yeah, another flat consolidation day for these guys. What's actually is probably pretty good. This is some pretty violent moves in here. I don't know if anyone's been trading this. Options are pretty liquid in here. I haven't traded Oracle in a long time. Have you guys been trading Oracle? I mean, based on this chart, I mean, looks like it's a lot of fun, but also you could easily get your face ripped off. But in terms of the chart, I mean, it's not coming down. It's not coming down. You know, I would like to see it break 52 here. If it could break 52, could have some nice movement down to 50 or to 54. So I would like to see it. I might actually set an alert here, like 52. All right, we'll set an alert. Okay, looks good. Alert has been set. Yeah, it would be interesting at 52 or 54, I think. Let me set an alert here. Yeah, I think outside of this would be fun. I'm not so sure in between. I think there's money to be made in here, but I try to go for the easier trade than try to force in this here. MCIG? What's MCIG? You better not be trolling me, VTech. Oh, look. All right. You had one chance, VTech. You had one chance and you blew it. You had one chance and you blew it. Amazon, Gene. Amazon, yeah, like I was saying with the Qs, I think that it needs a healthy pullback. However, it looks like a healthy pullback here would be like 1700 area. You know, that'd be like a 100-point swing. But I mean, it literally ripped 200 points. I mean, I would like. It was a freaking penny stock. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Please don't ask questions about penny stocks. I have a lot of videos about penny stocks versus options on the channel if you want to know about my thoughts. If you want to know my thoughts on penny stocks, search penny stocks on the Us versus Herd channel, or just go to YouTube, penny stocks, Us versus Herd. You'll find out all you'll need to know. I think that a healthy pullback to like 1750, 1720 area would be good. You know, stocks can't just keep going up forever. They can't, you know, like they can't go down forever. They can't go up forever either. I mean, a 200-point run, no breaks. Now we're getting a little bit of a break here. So I'd like to see like this 1725 probably, and then move up like 1725, even 1715 here would be nice. So I don't know what your position is. Are you looking to short it? You're looking to buy stock? You're looking to go long? You know, it definitely when Amazon wants something, like if it wants 2,000, it gets there. I mean, it did take them a while before it, when they were down at the 1,400 to 2,000. I mean, this had a crazy run. But if you're looking at it, it went from 1,350 to 2,000. This did take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months to do it in, 5.5 months to do it in, and you can see we had a bit of a pullback. We'd have these climbs, we had a pullback, these climbs, pullback, and these climbs until we had the ultimate pullback down to 1,300. You know, Marcus, welcome. Yeah, I could do AVEO. If you're new here, say what up. Want to meet everybody here. So this like when we have this two-sided action, I mean, we're not used to Amazon going down, you know, over the last couple of years. I mean, it's just been straight up with small pullbacks. You would load up on the small pullbacks because you wouldn't get these opportunities again. And then now we're starting to get more opportunities in 2018, 2019. But I'd like to see some more. Had a nice consolidation in here. Didn't really move up on earnings. So this could be, you know, this is, you know, off. Sometimes earnings are delayed, but you know, I think we should see 1,700 again before we go up. But when Amazon wants something, it wants something. AVEO. Oh man, didn't we just talk about penny stocks? VTech, what did you do? What did you do? So this is not a penny stock channel. This is an options trading channel. If you're new here and you want to see what I think about penny stocks, you can look up the channel. I actually did one like last week. I did a penny stock video. Look, Us versus Herd penny stocks. Look it up. I think I missed one request here. It was Oracle. Oh, Albert wanted Facebook. Man, Facebook caught that late day rip, huh? It was the only one it was the only social media I didn't. Man, I wish I put a position. I wish I was watching. I wasn't watching Facebook today. I was actually hoping it would revisit this 167 area, mainly because I wanted to put a position on, because I was looking at the 167 area. It could make a run to 170, give a couple bucks there, or it could come back down to the low 160s is what I was targeting. But I wasn't watching Facebook today. But what I've been thinking of, if it came back up here to the 167s, I think that it could go to 170. But I would wanted to put a strangle on it, like 167. So if it ran to 170, we make some money. If it comes down to the low 160s, we make some money. So I was looking at a strangle position on there. Implied volatility is up a little bit. But that's crazy. I don't know if anyone knows if this was like news induced. I mean, it ran like almost $3, $2.90 from right here, straight hour and a half of straight buying. Seems crazy. And there's no news except for some Lithuanian sued them and Google for some Muslim attack video or something. So I don't know why it would just rip that much, but I was thinking like 170. You know, I was looking for a trade. I'll bring up Tastyworks again. Let's see if it goes a little bit higher tomorrow because I can put a trade on. You know, if it can go, I would look at like something. I was looking at something like this. But I think I needed it a little bit higher. I needed a little bit higher so we could play the downside a little bit better because these are $2.50 wide strikes. Yeah, Marcus, penny stocks we don't really do here. You know, I typically trade stocks, mostly stocks that are over $10. And the typical range that I like to trade in are stocks that are like $100 to $200 range. I will trade like Tesla and some in the $200 to $300 range from every now and then. But kind of my sweet spot is like the $100 range. Saban, do you think Apple is going to skyrocket because of the new card news? Definitely do not. I currently have a bearish position on Apple, but I think the bearish position is it might turn neutral if it goes up to like 190. But I have time on it, so I'm not too worried. I'm so scared to trade Tesla. Yeah, so Tesla today, they had a downgrade, another downgrade. So this is like the second or third downgrade in a row. However, I mean, the price action didn't do that bad, and we talked about this on Friday, where, you know, typically like the 250 area has been a really good bounce area. I mean, if you're a stockholder, not a bad place to add stock down in here. If you're looking to buy shares, you know, implied volatility is a little bit high, so you can, if you want to do something, I mean, or I would sell puts in this instance. I mean, it went from 320 down to 260, did touch 254 today. Nice bounce, though, at 254 in the first 15 minutes, and then just consolidated all day, had a nice rip. So, you know, with Tesla, the thing is you have to already have a position on there, or it's very hard, like especially in a chart like this, to catch the bottom and get the rip here, because of the downgrade, people were expecting this downtrend to continue. But with this, I mean, you have to know that once Tesla gets down in the 250 area and the 240 area, if you're short, you should be very, 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 very careful. Because as you can see down here, I mean, it rips up. I mean, down here, I mean, and these are ginormous candles. Went from 251 to 287 in one day. In 2 days, it was up at 306. So you got to be very careful when you're shorting down here, especially where it's been no support, where this has bounced many, many times in the past. It's kind of like, hey, would you go, if you're catching FOMO, would you buy Tesla at 380? No, you wouldn't do that, because you're like, oh, it's failed here many times. And I'm not talking about just recently. You know, we're talking like many times in the last 3 years. 1, 2, 3, 4 times it's failed up here. And down here at like the 250s, you know, 1, 2, 3, and now we're here at the fourth time. So you gotta be mindful of that. you know, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier is why you want to be where you want to look ahead to where Apple or any stock's going to be. You don't want to be trading based on FOMO. FOMO is going to get you messed up. It's going to bring your account to zero. That zone is the buy to the dip central, yeah. So buy some stock or short some puts, vertical put spread, or if you want to get some calls, get some calls. I mean, market's pricing in $25 moves here for next week, $14 moves. Think about this. There's only 4 days left in the week here, and it's pricing in a $14 move. $14 move. So this could be at the end of this week. It could be 280, 275, or 245 from at this point, or it could be 290 or 300, or it could be, you know, now if it goes lower, like if it breaks 250, 240 area, you know, it means it's some serious trouble. But right now it doesn't look like it wants to do that. So I would be very, very cautious on like Tesla. All right, FLKS. All right, I'll take a look. Marcus. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean this is a penny. This is like a penny stock, and the options are just. I mean, this is not really. Yeah, so we only do options. This is an options trading channel mostly. So like if you have a 37-cent stock and the options start at $2.50, there's like, it's not happening. It's not happening. You know, it is a shame it went from $7 down to 37 cents, but there's a lot easier ways to make money in the market, which I've displayed. Like if you look at the penny stock videos that I've done, explaining what options versus penny stocks, I think you'll see the light. Come on over. CVET. Wilb. Nothing's coming up on that ticker. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's just slow. Yeah, CVET, the option liquidity is not very good. The open interest looks pretty good, but if you look at the volume, like the calls are only 3 and puts only 5 all day. Andrew, I've been trading SPY. I haven't been trading SPX because I haven't been doing too many vertical spreads on it. I used to trade it pretty much always had a position on SPX. I've just been gravitating more to individual stocks and then using like SPY as a hedge. Levi. So Levi, when are they expected to get options on this? Usually it's like 2 weeks. Levi options. So they don't have options. Usually options are like 2 weeks after a stock IPOs or so. And it's just doing what most stocks do after they IPO. I mean, they go up pretty huge and then they decline. Like I think it went up, you know, it IPO'd at like $17 and then it reached a high of $23, and then after that it just keeps making lower highs here. What's my opinion on Uber? So kind of like Uber and Lyft. Uber is probably the worst in terms of like a unicorn or what's going on right now. I mean, they have so much debt, they bleed so much money that when this information becomes public, it's kind of like Snap, you know? Snap was a big money pit. When an IPO, let's go to when they IPO'd here. I mean, Snap was, you know, I think they tried to like debut like $15 a share, opened up like $24.40, and then reached a low of $4.82. I mean, It's gonna be ridiculous. These companies that just spend money just to spend money. I mean, $120 billion valuation, and they don't make any profits, and they just bleed cash out left and right. When this stuff becomes public, and also they had all those scandals. Like, I think they're still trying to they're trying to, they had to throw out their founder. I mean, thank God, they better thank God they were not a public company when all that stuff went down. They're probably still cleaning up that mess. You know what I mean? They're still cleaning up that whole mess, and it'll be good. I mean, I want them to do well, but companies need to be valued at an appropriate valuation. And plus, I've been in a number of Ubers that try to get me killed. like you gotta slow down, man. You gotta. Plus, I mean, the whole idea, like, they're really just using drivers right now to buy them time. Like, what their end goal is to have autonomous driving so they could fire all their drivers. So you got to think about that. Like, are they doing the world good or are they doing the world bad? Sure. Like, the taxis hate them because, now people take Ubers instead of taxis. So all those people, that have taxi companies or work for them are suffering because it's way easier for me to pull up my phone and get an Uber or a Lyft than it is to, like, and it's kind of weird because it was pretty easy, like in Chicago here, pretty easy. You just raise your hand up and you get a taxi. But now I can just, like, as I'm walking out of the train station, call my Uber or even schedule my Uber. Like when I went to the airport, I just scheduled the Uber. He came pick me up right on time, and I was at the airport. But they're trying to pitch also, like, their agenda is they're trying to pitch like, okay, we're giving all these people side income. These people are making so much money on the side, or hey, these guys did like 5,000 rides. It's their job. But at the end, they're gonna train all these people, and then all these people are gonna get laid off because they don't want them. We're gonna have robots driving us. We're gonna have the cars gonna drive us. We're not gonna be driving. People will not be operating vehicles within the next 50 years. People. So is it going to do? Is Uber is positioned correctly, but they're way overvalued. So I hope they become public soon, so that way we can trade them. I mean, I think it'll be a lot of fun to trade Uber, and it'll be a lot of fun to trade Lyft. Prices are going to be crazy. But I think that we have a good understanding of the business, and once they give us some insight to what the numbers are, it's going to be a good time. If you think Tesla's fun, just wait till we get Uber. We're going to make some money. What'd I miss? You missed 52 minutes of the stream. Disney, Tan, I did say that I do think it will be coming down to the 100 area. Patrick, what's going on? Some new faces here, some old faces. Yeah, Mr. Toxic, they did get data breached. If you're new here, say what up. We got almost 50 people in here. If you're not new here and you're chilling in the background, I know some people here just watching. Come back here. Say what's up. We got a lot of lurkers. If you're lurking in the chat, man, a lot of penny stock. Am I being promoted on a penny stock? Am I being promoted on a penny stock channel or something? Yeah, don't trade it. Trade options, not penny stocks. I'm gonna make a bumper sticker. Trade options, not penny stocks. So yeah, if you got paid today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Yeah, is this VTech signing up as aliases? Because this is getting creepy. I'm getting trolled. Getting trolled. Never been trolled so hard. Got paid $2, broke even. Well, that's good. Better than losing. Yeah, I mean, Disney. We'll come back to Disney. I mean, I think it's very surprising and also very alarming that, like, right here at like 109 fell apart. it's just been going down for days. Very, very alarming. You know, next stop ideally is 104, 103 area. Right down here. Rohan, do you recommend any online courses for beginners? They have a course through, I think, Tasty Trade. You can look it up on Tasty Trade if you're looking for options. We have a course coming out soon as well. Profit Sniper, we are using Thinkorswim. I use Thinkorswim and Tastyworks. Yeah, you can watch a lot of our videos. We're starting to organize our videos into playlists based on some feedback, just because we have a lot of content now, and you know, you can stick around here, ask questions. Yeah, H7 Tasty Trade's YouTube channel, 14-part series, options for beginners. Yeah, if you go to YouTube and type in options trading for beginners, stuff will pop up as well. So, anyways, if the video was of value to you, hit the like button. Definitely appreciated hanging out with you guys. Everyone, thanks for trolling me. Mr. Toxic, I don't know how much. I think it's going to be free, and then part of it will be paid. If that makes sense. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing our own course here. It's gonna be a mix of free content and paid content. I got a call on Apple, 196.60 break even. What are the chances of me hitting that? Eli, we did talk about Apple quite a bit at the beginning of the stream, and unless Apple tries to rebound, it's not likely. Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's why it's hard to chase. It's hard to chase this, because look how fast it sold off. Yes, it went up quick. Just know that when a stock goes up very quick, it has an equal chance of going down just quick. I mean, it could have had a continuum of a run here. I mean, had a green day here, had another green day here, but then 2 solid red days. This counts as community service. No worry, Eli. No worry. You can hit the rewind if you're interested. So, anyways, we're coming up an hour here, guys. And girls, guys, take it easy. I got to get to a birthday dinner, so stay safe, stay green. It's always us versus herd.